Hey guys, welcome back. Episode 32. We're going to talk a little bit about opening up the adductors today, particularly for those guys who spend time in a squat position or receiving position. We find there's a lot of problems that we're seeing lately with trunk positions being too inclined, to do with issues regarding stance width, but also to do with adductor length. We're seeing guys with limited length and limited capacity to open up at the deep proximal part of the attachments, having difficulty getting into the right position to accommodate an upright torso. So I'm going to show three variations of some commonly used band-assisted adductor stretches. The first one, very simply, is one that many of you will be accustomed to already, which is using one of the monster bands, which we are very fond of, these thick elastic bands. We're going to tie this on to an immovable object. So in the gym, it'll be a squat rig or some kind of stand that's immovable. You're going to set the height of the band at a point which is level with my hip position and waist position when I'm in the bottom of the squat position. So you perhaps play with that first before you set it up. I'm going to step into this with both feet, tuck it over my waist, and I'm going to walk out until I feel a lot of tension on the band. In this position, I'm going to sink down into the bottom of a squat position, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to let the band pull me forward from the waist. So my pelvis is moving in between my toes. So we're getting this translation from my pelvic position coming forward in between my feet, which opens up the proximal part of the adductors. From here, there's a couple of variations that I also like, and one of which doesn't use or need a squat rack. And the reason I like this one is that you create a wedge using your elbows, which tends for me to open up those corners even more. So we're going to get into the band of choice. Thickness is designed, or preference will dictate that. You're going to get around your waist. You're going to get as tight a grip on the band as you can, so there's no slack at all in the band. From here, one hand over the other, I'm literally going to pull straight down towards the floor, and then I'm going to drop into my bottom position and hold on tight. Now the band tension is pulling my hands towards my stomach, and by doing so is driving my elbows into my knees, and it's opening up my hips much more than the first one. And I would stay here for a designated time period, and then I'd relax back out and come back up. This one actually is my favorite. It works fantastically well, and you get a real driving force from the elbows when you start off in that position. That's my favorite. We have given the next one to a few patients who also say this one's quite nice for them, so you can pick and choose which one you like, but we like all of them. Second one's my preference. The last one you're going to do is going to be using a wall space. And what we're going to do is something we call the kind of butterfly technique with this one. You're literally going to open up your pelvis using the band. So you're going to set yourself up with the band across the back, doubled up. Hold on to it as you get yourself into position. And by in position, you're going to wriggle in nice and close to the wall. One side at a time, you're going to hook over each knee as close to the kneecap as you can, so that the pull is directly down. In this position, I'm going to bring my heels as close to my bum as I can, and then I am literally going to let my legs drop out. I'm going to assist that by pulling down on my knees at the same time. This is just a nice stretch if you're going to stay in this position for a while, and you can just stay here. Being on the floor also ensures your spine remains in a relatively neutral position, which is also quite nice from that perspective. You can play around with foot orientation to suit yourself, just to maximize that stretching feeling. And then relax out. Offload the band on one end and the other, and you come out. We find that all of these techniques work great. My preference is the second one. Have a go, guys, and tell us which one yours is. Cheers.